So yeah.
He's recording it now?
Yes.
Oh, right.
That's the intro. Anyway, yeah, so
Our first
this has been a long time coming.
Podcast.
This has been a long time coming, hasn't it?
We're both into ice hockey, both EIHL and NHL, and we decided to start this debating chamber called podcasts to debate all matters ice hockey.
You're making it sound like we're the first people to ever host a podcast and upload it to YouTube.
No, we're not. We're two guys that are passionate about ice hockey. We're in lockdown and we're sick of no hockey, so we're going to talk about hockey for a bit.
Fair enough. And we finally decided to start doing it as well.
Yeah.
This has been in production for a long time.
Yes, it has.
For those of you wondering, hello, my name's Harry.
Hi.
I am the creator of EIHL Central, and I am the person who has been inactive for over a year and has failed to deliver quality,
Lazy. That's just lazy.
good quality videos,
Lazy.
and I apologise for that. Would you like to introduce yourself,
Yeah,
sir?
and I'm Stephen, and I'm his cohort, his partner in crime, and I will be putting his wrongs right.
More importantly, you're my dad.
Yes.
Above everything else.
And I will be putting his wrongs right, because
No,
I know
fair
far more than he does.
Thank you. Well, we'll see.
No.
Right, so for podcast number 1,
Yeah.
basically to challenge like the both of us, basically we've looked at the EIHL and the NHL for the 2019 to 20 season,
We have.
and we've challenged each other to pick a starting lineup of who we think have been the best players from this season. And
This season that's been kind of cut short.
yeah, so that's a goalie, 2 D-men, 3 forwards, and did we do a head coach?
Yeah,
we did a head coach as well, yeah.
Head coach, yeah. I'm head
Alright,
coaching
fair
it.
enough. Alright. So-
This will be, it is impartial, you know, we do, let's put it out there, we are Panthers fans, so let's put it out there now. So we
If you can hear closely, that's all the Steelers fans
yeah,
clicking off the
turning
video.
off. But we've got to get out there, but we are totally impartial, you
Yes.
know, we view hockey as hockey.
As ashamed as this makes me, because I am a Panthers fan and I will be impartial, but you know, when I put my black and gold jersey on, I hate the Steelers, and as much as this pains me, I actually have 2 Steelers in my EIHL lineup.
Yeah. No, I think it's. I don't mind. I just like hockey, and it's like, you know, when the Steelers come to town, it's good fun, and that's what I think it is.
Wish there'd be a bit more fight. Wish there'd be a few more fights there.
Yeah, we like the old rivalry. It's gone a bit tame just lately, and which is a shame. But yeah, it's just good fun. Hockey's good. We need strong rivalries, and we need a strong rivalry with the Steelers. You know,
Could be a topic for another podcast if
it could. Yes.
if this
It
doesn't
could be.
absolutely fall through the
But
floor.
I
Anyway.
just think hate is a strong word.
Okay. I will refrain from
Yeah.
using that word then.
Because, you know, I think it's a healthy rivalry, and that is good. Yes, you know, when the players are on the ice and in the heat of the battle, it's good, it's entertaining, but it's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good banter.
Sorry if we get a bit distracted. We've got some compilations of ice hockey fights on in the background just to get us in the mood of talking hockey in these.
Yeah, at the moment it's Hoffman and Penner.
Hoffman and Penner.
Right, we digress.
I'll quickly put a little snippet of that fight on Hoffman and Penner. It's a good fight. We were at that game.
Penner was the loosest of loose cannons, and I say that being a Panthers fan, he was an unexploded.
Anyone who's seen the Nottingham Coventry bench clearance will know exactly what we're on about.
The loosest of cannons. Right.
Anyway, so what?
Let's start with the EIHL.
I was going to say the same.
Team of the year.
Should we start with goalie? Starting goalie?
Yeah, let's start with starting goalie. Lots of good contenders for starting goalie, I believe.
Matt Ginn, according to Ryan Finnerty, best goalie in the league.
Yeah, and he's got a good case. What is your nomination for best?
My nomination. Well, I'll have the stats open in the background, but my nomination, I can already hear the comments calling me biased, but my nomination is number 37, Mr. Kevin Carr from the Nottingham Panthers.
Right.
I was toying between him and I saw a lot of people on social media when asked who the best goalie was. A lot of people said CJ Mott from the Blaze.
Yeah.
And the only thing that pushed towards Carr as opposed to CJ Mott was basically the fact that Carr has been around a bit longer in the league. Like Mott came in midway through the season, and I wasn't a big fan of Kevin Carr at the start of the season. I was a bit
Car Crash. He was nicknamed
Car Crash. Yeah, I was a bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie, because he wasn't the best. He wasn't the best at the start of the season, but I don't know if that was, new league, because spent all his years in America apart from 1 year where he actually played in Croatia. Played 10 games in Croatia.
He did, yeah, he did.
But you just look at the stats here. 37 games played in the shortened season for the Panthers. This is in regular season, with a goals against average of 2.44, which I don't really pay attention to goals against average much, because that says a lot about the goalie, but it also could say a lot about the defense as well.
True, yeah.
I pay attention to save percentage, and Kevin Carr, save percentage, .918. Now, it's verging on 92% of the shots he was faced with, he stopped. And I know it's an old cliche, but you hear it everywhere, but if you get goaltending like that every night, you've got a chance to win.
Yeah, but the Panthers team was winning. And my nomination is Matt Ginn from the Storm.
Oh, wow.
Because look at his stats.
All those years of Ryan Finnerty talking away of...
He nearly lost 2 out of 3 games every time he went on the ice. He played 49 games and he lost 30 of them. Yeah. And his save percentage was 92.11. That means he's trying to pull that team.
Okay.
And he was succeeding. He has to be. Although he was losing games, his save stats say if he weren't playing as well as he was, they would have lost a lot more by a lot more.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I understand.
Netminders, good netminders. You like your top lads. If they've got a good back line in front of them, their stats will improve.
I get what you mean, because I bet Carr had a better back line in front of him than the Storm.
Because
than Matt Ginn. Sorry.
Definitely. And so you've got to hold your hand up and say, pound for pound, Matt Ginn, and a team that were in the bottom 3 or 4 all season, pulling out stats like that, in my opinion, should get goalie of the year.
I like it. Yeah. I've listened and I 100% get it. Don't jump to conclusions and think I'm comparing the two, but it was a lot like Carey Price when the Canadians weren't doing very well. He was still putting up decent numbers. I'm obviously not saying that Matt Ginn is Carey Price, but it's something very similar. And
I mean, there was a lot of contenders in this. I thought,
my two were between Carr and Mott. CJ Mott from the Blade.
But he only played 24 games.
Yeah, that was the only thing that swung me. If he played a full season, would he have been as good? I don't know.
The guys that I think you've got to look at are the guys that's played your late 30s and your 40s games.
The ones with the high save percentage as well.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, Challenge Cup winning goalie Thomas Duber, I didn't really consider him, to be fair, because if you look at his stats, he's not the best goalie in the league.
No, not at all. He's down in.
I'm not saying that because I'm a Panthers fan,
No, not at all.
Look at his stats. But the thing was,
you've got Owen in front on him. You know, you've got the Flyers goalkeeper in front of him, Morrison. Obviously, got Ben Bears in front of him.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I did see Duber,
I didn't give Bounty a thought
really well.
either.
I mean, we've seen him a few times live, and he was part of a successful Steelers team, so he had to be a mention, but.
I didn't give Bounty a thought, to be fair.
No, I just looked at Gin and thought, wow, he's in a poor team. He's in a poor team. He's in a team that is not doing. I mean, Finity in the end got them rocking and rolling a little bit, and it looks like they might get a playoff place. But overall, he was in a team that he was in, and it's going to be bottom six and not top six.
Yeah,
and he put up stats like that. That was just my call.
Yeah. And I know we've joked a lot about, in the past, how Ryan Finity has come out in interviews and said Matt Ginn is the best goalie in the league, and we used to take the mick, but that's because Ginn put up average numbers.
I think
this year,
honestly believes it. So.
Especially this year, yeah.
The stats don't lie. He's played the most games and he's got the best save percentage.
He played the most games out of any goalie as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, if we're going to kind of make a decisive call here, I think I'm going to overrule you and put Matt Ginn in.
I'm standing by Carr, but I 100% know what you mean when you say Matt Ginn, because when you read those stats, out, and you're right. The save percentage,
Carr did get a lot of flack early on.
The 92 save percentage on they weren't going to contend for any trophies, Manchester, bless them, but
no,
it wasn't the best of teams, but Matt Ginn actually really came through for them this year.
I like Ginn. I'm sticking with Ginn.
I know you like Ginn.
Let's move on. We will beg to differ there. What's your defence?
Well, you tell me your defence. I told you my goalies first.
Right. Well, my first one, obviously, is the main man. That kind of rips it up all the time.
I think I know who you're on about.
Come on then.
Are you on about Gleason Fournier?
Yes.
Yes, I thought so.
Yeah. Has to be. I mean...
I was going to say, and your reasons, but I don't think you really need to explain, but go on anyway.
Oh no, it's just pound for pound. He just is the main man, isn't he? He really does kind of rip it up every year. He's just...
Yeah.
I mean, what did he get? He got a point a game.
I mean, right, I may as well say as well, Fournier's one of mine as well.
Points.
Seeing as you're on about Fournier, I may as well say Fournier's one of mine as well. So, yeah, just looking at his stats now, this year he got 47 points in 46 games as a defender. But, everyone should remember the unbelievable season he had last year, 2018 to 19. 60 regular season games, 71 points as a defender.
And he's the first name on the team sheet.
24 goals, 24 goals as a D-man.
Yeah.
I mean, some forwards, forwards can't even hit 24 goals in a year. John Rowe.
How long has he? Yeah. But how long has he been at this? How long has he been at the?
Well, in 2015 to 16, he played in the East Coast Hockey League for the Alaska Aces. 27 games there, and then let's have a look. When did he come over to Cardiff? Came over to Cardiff in early January 2016, and then that year had 8 points in 18 games, then he had 37 points, then 44, then 71, and now this year 47 in a shortened season.
Yeah. And it's just, it just is. He's not even an old boy. He's 28. He's his absolute
former Red Wings draft pick as well.
He's in absolute prime. He's just an absolute every EIHL fan would love him on their team, on their roster.
Yeah.
You just think, wow, he's just amazing.
Yeah.
You know what
and
I mean?
I think I'll put a video on now where it was it was in one of my top 10s last year, and I'll just put it on now for all the people watching. But there's this goal where it's against the Steelers. It's like when the Steelers last year at the start were bad, and it's like a nothing scoreline anymore. It's like 7-1 Cardiff. So, and Fournier starts behind the goalie, comes through, moves around one person, goes through the middle, goes through two defenders, and like finishes top shelf on the goalie, and it's unbelievable. Yeah. It's an amazing goal, and you think, this guy's a defender.
258 games, 230 points.
As a defender,
as a D-man, he's absolutely.
Those are good stats for a forward.
Yeah,
and they're just crazy.
Yeah.
And one last thing about Fournier, the plus minus from last year, plus 52.
That's just
unbelievable.
Yeah, and that's the reason why Cardiff, year on year, just do a lot of things right. Is because they find imports that tick all the right boxes. Your Martins, your Haddads, your Fourniers.
Martin and Haddad both been re-signed.
And they just absolutely sign them up year in year, and they like Ron Seal and other wood staining products are available, but they do exactly what they say on the tin.
Yeah.
They just
but you see that with Cardiff.
Easy money.
Like we've said that a lot of times about Cardiff, Belfast as well. Even Sheffield as well, kind of. Like, they'll keep... Like, even if they have a bad season, they'll keep some of the players just so coming into the year there's some imports coming in and they know, like, how the team works and they know how it all runs.
Yeah.
And
right, let's just... we've actually...
Enough about Fournier.
We've sugar-coated Fournier and we put him on that...
I think this is where we're gonna disagree
he
now.
He is on the ice hockey throne. He really is. He's that good.
Yeah.
Who's going to partner?
So
the main man,
go on,
Fournier.
I think this is where we'll disagree because I'll admit it now. I've gone quite left field with my answer.
Yeah. I haven't.
Who have you got?
I've gone just up the M1. Marek Trozinski from Steelers.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. 52 games, 46 points, not many penalty minutes, 50 penalty minutes. Yeah, I just like what he does. I like what he did for Steelers. He impressed me all the time I come. You could have picked quite a few from the Steelers.
Yeah.
But I think you look at the Steelers roster, the final roster, and he was right up there. You've got 5 forwards scoring other points, and then you got Trozinski just kind of behind. And he just had a really strong season.
Is it true? He was a bit of an unknown name when he came in. Whereabouts was he playing? Was he playing like in European leagues and stuff? You
are the stat man, not me. I'm just.
Alright, hang on. I'll have a quick look. Then.
I'm just a middle-aged man that just makes stupid comments. But to me, he was, because it was. This is the one that you could have gone with 4 or 5 different ones that were floating in the air, but he was the one that kind of I just thought.
Yeah. If you look at where he's played mostly in his hometown. Well, his home country of the Czech Republic,
which is not a bad.
And he's played. Well, hang on. If I just have a look at this, wow. 93 KHL games, 37 points, including 12 goals.
Yeah, I mean, Matheson was in the mix with me. He had a good, strong
Matheson was
season.
in the mix for me as well. Matheson was...
He ticked a lot of boxes.
Matheson was the best Panthers D-man
He's
this
got
year
a bit
by
of
far.
I think Matheson's got a bit of a weaver about him.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You know, he's deceptively quick on the ice. You think he's kind of cumbersome, but he covers the ice really kind of...
Yeah.
You know, and he did a lot of good stuff for us, which was good.
Yeah.
But I just thought, you know, for his first, because was it his first season for the Steelers? Did he have a few games last season? I'm sure he.
Who? Matheson.
No, Trosinski.
Oh, Tronsinski.
Yeah.
This is his first year in Sheffield.
For his first year.
When did he come over? Because he played 5 games for Litvinov in the Czech Republic. Came over on the 2nd of October.
But I just think he was one of the reasons why the Steelers did so well.
If I'm going to be honest, until I see his stats now...
They were 2/3 of the way through the season. They was absolutely...
They were right up there as contenders for the league title.
For the lot.
Yeah.
For the lot.
Oh, yeah.
So, and he was one of the reasons.
I didn't know he was that...
You need a solid defence, and he was part of it.
I didn't know he was that, brilliant until I saw his stats. I mean, I thought he was good. I thought he was very good, but I didn't know he was putting up pretty much a point a game.
Yeah.
Especially as a D-man. And that plus 24 as well. Yeah, I can see why you've picked him.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So that's my gin, Fournier, Trosinski. What's your piece of jigsaw?
Alright, this is going to confuse a lot of people. So, my goalie, Kevin Carr. My D-man, Gleason Fournier.
Yeah.
And on his other side, from the Dundee Stars...
I've got him. Dryden
Dow. Oh,
when he said left field...
He's brilliant. I'm sorry, but I'd take him over... I'm sorry, Steelers fans, but I'd take him over Tronsinski. I'd probably take him over Matheson, I mean, just look at his stats this year. Well, yeah, I am, but... I mean, this is his 2nd year in Dundee. Last year he got...
Dundee. As Mr. Sims said. I love it.
Dundee
Stars.
Yeah, this is 2nd year for said Scottish team. And last year he got 38 points in 58 games, which is quite impressive.
Yeah.
But then this year he was an alternate captain, so obviously he's leader in the locker room.
27.
Yeah, still quite young, pretty much hitting his prime now. 41 points in 48 games.
Canadian.
On a team like
Dundee.
I'm sorry, but if you look at some of the highlights of him, some of the goals he scores are actually quite nice. Like literally, they're actually
quite nice. Yeah, I like it.
But yeah, like some of the goals you see him score, you're like, wow, these are some good goals he's scoring. Like,
and if you look at the stats last season, he's
upgraded in, the only category he hasn't upgraded in is assists, but that was because it was a shortened season and because he scored 5 more goals.
Yeah.
So he's getting more offensive
he's
more productive on the score sheet.
His 4th topic goes, it goes Fournier, Matheson, Trosinski, Dow, and then your next one after that is looking down. You've got to go a long way down for McGonigal, I think, with the Devils.
Yeah.
And then Brocklehurst to the Steelers.
McGonigal was Professor McGonigal.
Yeah.
No, McMonigal. Yeah, Sean McMonigal. He was a good shout as well because I think he didn't do too bad. But yeah, I saw the stats. I saw the stats and I saw...
You've got the same reasoning with Gin, with the goalie, my goalie. You've got the same reasoning with the Dundee and Dow.
Dundee.
It's a bottom 6 team, and he's putting up top 6 stats.
Yeah.
Which
41 points in 48 games says it all, really.
Yeah.
There's my team. Carr, Fournier, Dow. I thought, I thought you'd be a bit more confused, but yeah, just look at those.
It. It's good. It's good.
Look at the offensive stats, and you can see why I picked him.
Do your D any day. In fact, if anybody wants to comment on after we've gave us our teams, if you want to send your teams, that'd be great. But also, I would think I'm confident in my team could beat Harry's team without a shadow of a doubt.
Thanks.
Because Carl was, although we did grow to love him at the Panthers, he did wander. He was a wanderer.
He was voted most consistent player.
But he did wander out his...
He wasn't Michael Garnett level wandering, but he was up there.
He certainly was the cable, but that's another story. So the D's looking good for both. I like it. Very good. So, let's go on to the forwards.
I was going to say this is where it could split differences.
No, I don't think so.
Or actually, yeah.
Well, there's one. I think there's one that again is an absolute no-brainer. He's a Fournier.
Should we get him out of the way first?
Let's get him out of the way
I think
first.
we've both got him, and it seems right that.
Yeah. Sam Herr.
It's Sam Herr. It's 100% Sam Herr.
Yeah.
Well, 27 years old, so he's hitting his prime. 6'1", 97 kilos.
I mean, he had 227 shots on goal. I mean, he was. Does that include the warm up? I mean, what is that? That's just. Where was he? Where was he? I mean,
it's
he's absolutely shooting on.
Talk
from
about
the face off. I think he was shooting. He was taking all the face off, and he was just shooting on the goal all the time, even from the blue line. He never.
And I said,
that's crazy.
Well, when you talk about unknowns, like last year he played for the Ontario Reign in the AIHL. We've been playing for them for about 4 years, and the highest number of points he put up in a season was 17. So, I mean, I guess Panthers fans
thought... It's not just that. The middle of the season, the Panthers were literally a mid-table kind of...
Oh, yeah.
A mid-table...
Well, not even mid-table at some point.
Average team.
I remember
he was dragging that team out the
9 losses in 11 games.
Week in, week out.
9 losses in 11 games. And another big one was the signing of Jake Hansen, because I remember he scored on his debut in Cardiff, and he kind of became like Herr's right-hand man.
He was very. I mean, the guy looked a very kind of unassuming, kind of quite a humble guy, but let's face it, the stats do not lie.
30 goals, 46 games, 30 goals. He was already a 30-goal scorer, 29 assists, 59 points.
Yeah.
And,
only 8 power play goals, but like I say, shots on goal, it means he was greedy, but not in a Guptill kind of way, and Panthers fans will know what I'm saying about Guptill.
He was not Guptill greedy, no.
He was the original one of the Mr. Men. He was Mr. Greedy.
Mr. Greedy.
Because it was unbelievable. But Herr was not. He was a total team player. But he was, wow.
Well, yeah.
Different. Just as Fournier was the obvious D-man, I think Sam Herr, whoever picks the EIHL...
I think everybody has to have...
Sam Herr was the standout.
Everybody's got to have a little bit of Sam Herr.
Yeah. Because, again, through the season...
Yeah. It was so consistent.
The Giants, the Devils, and the Steelers were all...
Great teams.
To win. They were the 3 top teams in that division, with the Steelers being the top team for majority of the season. The Panthers were always below them.
Yeah.
But Herr was keeping the Panthers just in touch.
I'll tell you what.
Not to win it, but to compete.
I'll tell you what. If you want to have a look at Sam Herr, just look at the game on Boxing Day at home against Coventry. We were, what was it? We were 3-1 down. 3-1 down. And we both said to each other, this is the worst Panthers we've seen in years. Like, the way we played that game, we were awful. Like, Kevin Carr made some unreal stops, and it was a wonder that it wasn't 6-1 Coventry, because we were that awful.
Coventry were that good.
They were,
and Danny Stewart,
awful.
Wow, he did... The second half of the season, Danny Stewart was...
Don't know what he did, but they really...
The Blaze were one of the best teams.
Yeah.
They every time they come to our place, they were really play some really good.
We were down 3-1. Then, what was the first goal? Yeah, it was just a simple wrist shot that beat Mott. Then it's 3-2, and then he gets the pass from Hansen. Then a minute later makes it 3-3. Then Coventry scored with 2 minutes to go, and we're thinking, great, well the game's over. No, Sam Herr scores with about a minute to go, and then he gets the winner in overtime. I've never seen, well, I probably have, but I've never seen someone score 4 goals like that quickly. Just rattle off 4 just like that.
And they were all great goals. But yeah, so Herr is there.
I'm making a bold claim, but he is the best Panthers player I have seen since David Ling. Like, literally.
Yeah.
David Ling was unbelievable. Sam Herr, I think, belongs in that category because Sam Herr, just a natural leader. And it was, when we were going through the rough patch, it was him that came on Panthers radio and he was like, look, it's not good enough. And saying all these things a captain should say. And
so
we were one of the best teams in the league. Yeah.
Herr's in. We know Herr's in.
Anyway,
Yeah, you're going off on a Panthers, Yellow Brick Road.
Yes.
Come back, because, we've not won that for years.
So have you got him as a left winger?
I've just got him in the team.
Oh, yeah, just got him as a winger.
He can just blast it anyway.
He's my left winger. So, who have you got as a centre, or as just like, who have you got as another forward?
I'll go right wing. I'll go with the Blaze, since we're talking about the Blaze on Boxing Day. Luke Ferreira.
As soon as you said Blaze, I knew who you were going to say, yeah.
I mean, for a start, 13 power play goals for a start. So, that's kind of, you can do the maths there. I mean, he's just kind of, his points, again, 47 games, 54 points.
Yeah.
Not many penalty minutes, so he's always on the ice, bless him. 13 power play goals.
Yeah. Steelers, you could have had him.
I don't know about that.
I was going to say, no, he played at Steelers for years.
Did he?
Yeah. And this is his second year with the Blaze.
You're the stat man. I'm just the the keen amateur.
You are the person who just comes along and
just babbles on about. Oh yeah, I can see that. But yeah, it just kind of.
He's a Peterborough lad, born in Peterborough.
And he's a Brit.
Yeah.
That's just.
That's the thing you got to remember. Yeah.
Gold dust.
Well, mind you, look, he had 3 years at Sheffield, played 1 game at Cardiff, way back.
Did he?
But yeah, Steelers in 2014 to 15, no points in 18 games. Then he had 10 points in 52 games, then 10 points in 52 games again.
Yeah.
Then he went to the Blaze in 2017 to 18 and scored 29 points in 48 games. Then
again, only
40
27.
in 60 and now 54 in 47.
Only 27, you've got a Brit that's doing over a point a game. That's just like, that's lottery. That's 5 numbers in bonus ball for any EIHL team. Because it's just, they are gold dust.
Got an assist at the Olympic Games qualifiers as well.
Yeah.
We went to that Hungary game.
And he's probably one of the reasons why the Blaze was getting, progressively better as the season went on. And we were putting the numbers up, and they were starting to encroach on the Panthers and the Giants, and they looked a real prospect for the playoffs.
Yeah, and obviously, any person who has Luke Ferreira on their top team will probably base it on this stat alone. Luke Ferreira is the only British player in EIHL history to lead the league in goals. No British player has ever done it. You think about all the natural-born British goal scorers, David Clark, Ashley Tate, they never led the league,
No.
Luke Ferreira, first ever British player to lead the league in goals. And you see the type of names where top goal scorer, you see the names he's put alongside, like Tendler, Beauregard, Matthew Waugh, Scott Pitt.
It just kind of...
It is crazy.
And
that's good for the Elite League. To have a Brit lead the league in goals, finally.
Yeah.
After 17 years of being around.
Yeah. But Venus did well for the Blaze, didn't he? Venus was... Venus was up
Venus
there.
is one of those players who just got better and better as the years go on.
Yeah. He got 37 points from 47 games. So
yeah, Luke Ferreira, good choice though. I can 100% see why you chose him, and he's signed on.
And he's a Brit.
He's signed on until
to see a Brit, kind of like you say, ripping it up.
Yeah, he's signed on until 2022. So good job by Danny Stewart or whoever hands out the contracts in Coventry.
Exactly, brilliant. Because Stewart will keep him probably grounded, and he'll just grow and grow.
Yeah.
Where you like your Ben Lake, who ripped it up last year at Coventry,
Went to the Giants and was more of a depth player rather than a star forward.
Yeah, and it kind of was. I got lost a little bit because every time we seen Lake last season for the Blaze when he came to our place he stood out like
fantastic.
He stood out like something that was
sticking out.
Sticking out.
Stood out like something that was sticking out. Yeah.
And the Giants, he kind of, like you say, kind of blended into the crowd a little bit, which was a shame because. There's put a lot of potential there. What's your second pick in the forward line?
Well, I'm going to go for my centreman.
Yeah.
And this guy's a natural centreman. And, pains me to say this, but Brendan Connolly from the Sheffield Steelers.
Yeah, good choice.
Yeah, so, 34 years old.
Yeah.
So, bless him, I don't know how much he'll be able to keep up this pace for, but you never know. 5'8", 82 kilograms, so small guy.
Yeah, he does. You know,
sometimes size can be a bit of a disadvantage, especially in a contact sport like ice hockey.
He didn't make my top three because he just the 86 penalty minutes put me off.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, they kind of double kind of, kind of. I mean.
But if you look at his stats,
anything in the 50s is you think alright, but you start close up to 86, he's sitting on the bench a long time. In my opinion,
sitting in the box a long time.
Yeah, well, there's a bench in the box, but
sorry.
You know what I mean?
Well, if you listen,
that's nearly 2 minutes a game.
Yeah.
You know, he's not on the.
I mean, I see where you're coming from, but sometimes it can work in your favour because when. The Steelers used to be covered on Premier or Free Sports, and Aaron Murphy and Paul Lady would be talking about Connolly. They'd always describe him as a Brad Marchand of the EIHL, not the biggest guy, hated by every other fan base apart from the one that he plays for, and he puts up loads of points, and he sticks his nose in where it doesn't belong, and he can just get under your skin
because that means. He's doing a lot of things right.
Yeah.
David Ling was universally kind of,
I
think, not liked amongst other fans.
Oh yeah. Steelers fans will tell you a lot.
Because he did a lot of things right for the Panthers. He made the Panthers tick.
Good players get hated because they're good. Yeah.
Connolly was the same for the Steelers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was the engine, wasn't he?
55 points in 48 games and. He's played for 3 different teams in 3 years in the EIHL. Played for the Giants, then the Clan, and the Steelers. And 55 has been his.
What was his stats like for the Clan then? Did he do
for the Clan last year? He got 65 points in 58 games, and for the Giants he got 73 in 53.
Wow!
But in the year for the Giants he had 154 penalty minutes.
Yeah, so he is kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That fuse is short, isn't it? The fuse is short.
Yeah.
Well, we were there when he lobbed the gold peg.
Oh no, that was Mike Davies.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
Good. I saw that, and for people who didn't see it, it wasn't done with malicious intent.
No, he just.
But he did pick up a peg, and he spotted out a fan, and he was like, "Here you go."
Yeah.
Threw it underarm, but it was straight at him.
It was not malicious at all.
It wasn't malicious, but it warranted a suspension.
The Panthers fans made more of it than what it was. It was not kind of.
Did we though?
I think we did it, and then some of them were a bit kind of woe is me kind of thing. Where just...
Well, he got him suspended, but that same game, Connolly was the one where who was it? Adam Deutsch was cut into the goal. And he tried to jump round the goalie but hit him, so he kind of went over him. And Connolly dived on Deutsch and started punching him.
Yeah.
And I think the fuse is short. I know what you mean.
And
if he sees something he doesn't like, he'll go.
That would be my only worry.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. But I like the point. 73, 65, 55. They're brilliant numbers for any year. So yeah.
I like it.
And I think he's a good sentiment. 2 points in 3 games in the Olympic qualifiers. So that was his first term with the GB squad. So he pretty much took to it like a duck to water, really. Already got a goal and an assist in 3 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was definitely good to watch him in a GB jersey because, he's a good player. Let's not like go away from that. He's a really good player.
He's a top player, isn't he? He's a top player.
Anyway, who is your third player then?
Yeah, my forward then, if we're going left and right and all that palaver, is Valorant.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I'll jump in as well. Yeah, Marco Valorant.
Yeah, I mean, he was at the...
He's at the Blaze, wasn't
the Blaze.
He? Not last year, but 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
And he was already a brilliant player for the Blaze.
And he put some really good stats up at the Blaze, didn't he? 63 points.
I've got 65 points here
65,
for the Blaze. 65 points, 48 games.
But he had a shed loads of penalty minutes.
145.
I've got the old snooker score here, 147. So that must have been his second sport, hockey and snooker. 147 penalty minutes when he went for Blaze.
But I mean, look at that, 34 goals with the Blaze. Then he took a year off. Went to, forgive me for not pronouncing this right. He went to EIHL Luster now. In the Alps Hockey League, which is kind of like a European league with teams in Austria and Italy and around those areas. So he went to Austria, got 62 points in 35 games, including 32 goals, and then he came back to the he came back to the league and signed with the Steelers. And I remember when I saw that signing, I was like, yeah, the Steelers are going to be good, purely because of that signing, because I remember that Valorant was a class player.
Yeah. And he didn't disappoint, did he?
Oh no, he didn't.
Absolutely didn't disappoint.
51 points in 40 games.
Yeah.
I think he had the exact same points per game average as Sam Herr.
Yeah.
So if he played the same amount of games as Sam Herr, he'd probably be around the 59 point total.
Lots of power play goals, 11 power play goals.
Toned down the penalty minutes, only 47.
Nothing in the penalty box, which you want. But I mean, probably Connolly was doing all the penalty. He was warming the bench up anyway, so he didn't need to. But that's what made the Steelers.
I mean, Valorant's another one of those players that's a bit hated. Like, I know that he's not. Well, I don't know how to put this, but. Well, you've seen all the stuff on the banter group where he's been with like opposing fans, like through the glass, like chirping opposing fans when they're giving him something, he'll give it them back.
But he obviously toned it down a bit because the stats don't lie. Although, I mean, the Blaze, he must have been kind of doing some naughty stuff at the Blaze to get 3 times as many penalty minutes as what he did for the Steelers. But that's probably testament to the coach as well. You know what I mean? The coach will be saying, look, Connor Connolly's going to be doing some of that stuff. You don't need to do it. You just need to get your head down and do what you do, which what he did.
Fox put together a good team. Let's not lie.
Yeah. Very good team. A strong team.
As much as that pains me to say, it was a good team.
The Steelers were absolutely...
Much better than the Steelers of like the last couple of years.
Well, what I got from last season is the Steelers could go 3-1 down, 4-1 down, 3-0 down, and then within the blink of an eye, they'd won the game 6-4.
They'd be back.
Or 5-3 or something like that. They
always
never knew when they were beaten.
They always found a way to come back,
And that is a really testament to a really good team. If they'll not know when they're beaten. Yeah. If teams score 3 against them, they'll score 4. They score 4, they'll score 5.
In Valorant, score a goal in the Cup final as well.
The Challenge Cup, Cardiff battered them, but they still found a way to win. They took the chances.
Are you talking about the final or?
Yeah, the final.
I don't think Cardiff battered them. I watched that game.
I watched that game, and I think Cardiff were a far better team.
Really?
Yeah, but
I think the Steelers were the better team throughout the game. But I think in that second period, minus the Connolly shootout goal, I think Cardiff were dominant in that second period because they could have easily rattled off 3 quick goals with this type of chances they were having. But I remember Valorant got one of the goals, and obviously once they got that 2-0 lead, it was going to be a struggle for Cardiff.
Yeah. Well, if they played an absolute... I'll tell you what, it was...
It was a great cup final.
It was a great cup final.
It was a good advert for the league, yeah.
But also, I just thought that... just watching Infinity... in the
Ryan Finity highlights, yeah.
Fantastic.
Back when he was a devil as well.
Yeah. But that going back to the Challenge Cup final, the Steelers played a typical road game in a cup final.
Yeah, because
they made it like a road game.
They
did because
it was half and half with the fans, but it pretty much was a home game for Cardiff, wasn't it?
It was still in their barn.
Yeah.
So, and I thought the Steelers played it like a road game.
They did play a good game, yeah.
They soaked up the tons of pressure from Cardiff.
Yeah.
Soaked it all up, rode them up.
Duba played well. Duba played well. They got good goaltending.
Yeah, and that's what they did.
Yeah. Right. So your team is Gin, Fournier, Tronsinski, Her, Valorand and Ferrara.
Yeah.
And my team is Carr, Fournier, Dow, Her, Connolly, Valorand. And so, your last one, head coach.
The head coach. Well, we've mentioned it, it's got to be Fox. Fox is just, every interview I've seen of him, he was just an absolute, he was, quiet, considered, measured. You knew he was getting the job done at the Sheffield. He just kind of, he looks the real deal. I think he will, I think they've got a really strong coach in there. Somebody that knows what he's doing. Somebody that can handle, arguably, and they are the biggest team in the league. They've got the biggest fan base. They can.
Well, I haven't got Aaron Fox as my head coach, but just a word on Fox. I wouldn't normally like a coach who's calm and doesn't show much emotion either during the game or in interviews because, I don't know, I like a coach with a bit of emotion. So like Chernomaz last year, I liked him and I didn't think the Panthers should have fired him. But, with Aaron Fox, obviously you saw that, whatever problems the Steelers were faced with, he was going to do his absolute best to get them through. I
bet he was a great coach to play for. Average attendance 6,610. Steelers are Steelers did it. Just I took that out there, and they got the most goals per game, 4.31.
Yes.
That shows how strong
4.31.
Yeah, that shows how strong their forward line was. And like we said, they had a really good defence, but it didn't matter if the defence had an off night. They were always going to score more than 4 goals a game.
Yeah.
And that, again, you got that in your locker, it's game on.
Yeah. Well, my coach is another big team.
Yeah.
And I've gone with Adam Keefe. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where to start, really, because there's a load of good things about Kiefer. He's emotionally invested whenever he's behind the bench, or even when he used to play for Belfast. He always wore his heart on his sleeve, and he was always so determined and passionate about winning. And this year with Belfast, Belfast were a good team, and Keefe must have been the backbone of that team because he's been in Belfast for years now. He knows the city. He knows what it's like to win championships. Because obviously, before he was a coach, he was the captain.
Yeah. Oh, it's a bit like Lord, isn't he, from Cardiff? They are the two kind of.
Mine was between breeds. Keefe and Lord. Yeah.
They're both kind of. They've been there. They've been a player. They've been the captain, and now the head coach. They are living and breathing Belfast and Cardiff respectively.
It's a lot like Corey Nielsen when he became full-time head coach of the Panthers.
Yeah.
He'd been around for a number of years. He was the player coach. Then he was stepped away, and the first year he was the head coach, we won everything. So and Keefe and Lord have gone down that same route, and
that's why this is successful. They know what it. You've got to have coaches. You've got to have backroom staff that are not just coming thinking nothing about the elite league, nothing about the team that they're coming to. You've got to have staff, and particularly head coaches, that know what the organisation is for a start, and that's what Lord and Keith they've got. They've got this understanding of what that organisation is.
And I bet that professionalism trickles down through the organisation, through to everyone from management to the players, and I bet it spreads throughout the locker room.
Of course it does.
Just the the greatness and the professionalism.
Where did Fox come from the Steelers then?
Let's have a look.
What was his background?
I think
because he really hit the ground running. I mean, and he was just like I say to me.
Aaron Fox used to be a player. Well, before he went to the Steelers, from 2013 to 2019, he was sports manager of Medveščak Zagreb, who were a team in the KHL and the EBEL in Austria.
Yeah.
And last season, he was the head coach of Zagreb, but he resigned on December the 10th, 2018. So he must have been looking for work for a long time.
Yeah.
And even look at his stats as a player. He played in loads of leagues around Europe and always put up great numbers.
What was his position?
Oh, let's have a look quickly. His position was...
Got that Demo look about him.
No, he was a centreman.
Was he?
Yeah.
Brilliant. But you could see he was absolutely, he brought into the Steelers kind of program straight away, and he just kind of.
Yeah, I understand why he picked Fox.
Quiet, unassuming, and you could. Keith and Lloyd, they year in year out, they're doing exactly what it says.
I just chose Keith because. He knows.
But I tell you what,
he knows the Giants organisation.
I didn't even think about Cardiff or Belfast. If it weren't going to be Fox, it was going to be Danny Stewart.
Really,
the Blaze to me.
Okay, yeah.
Because she's working on probably a lot more of a tighter budget than any of
the 4 arena teams. Yeah,
and he got them absolutely kicking and screaming second half of the season. They were ruffling everybody's feathers.
Yeah,
they were
beating some good teams.
Well above their weight.
And
they were going from. They were bypassing Guildford. To me, it was kind of the league had split up into 3 groups almost. It was the top 3 were your Steelers and your Giants and your Devils, and then you got a mid 3 of Ulls, the Panthers, that is, the Flames and the Blaze, and then you got the rest who were kind of obviously the Clans started well, and then they just dropped like the proverbial stone. And then you got Fife who was struggling, Dundee, habitual strugglers.
Dundee.
Yeah.
Storm again.
Your team's on lower budgets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I was trying to say is that the Blaze went from being in that kind of melting pot of below the Flames and just washing around in 7th or 8th.
It was night and day.
They were coming. They were looking like top 4, top 3, and like I say,
they'd come in our place and they'd absolutely.
And I think they
walk us up and down the arse.
Absolutely, I think they would have gone close in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I really do think that.
That's a kind of team where. They're good.
And how good would that place have been this year?
A lot like the 2014 to 15 Blaze. The one that beat the ones that beat the Steelers in the playoff final. Like after they beat us in the quarter final, you knew they were good, but you never thought they were going to go and beat like the likes of Sheffield or Cardiff. Well, they beat Belfast in the semi-final in a shootout, and then they beat Steelers 4-2 in the final.
Yeah. But how good would that
playoff final
finals would have been? I mean, you've got Devils and Giants and Steelers.
And even Panthers were on a bit of a late surge.
But every
Blaze
time Blaze were
really
there were 4 or 5 really strong. Even Manchester and Dundee were starting to kind of find
get into good
late
form.
To get into
and obviously Guildford are always dangerous.
Guildford's dangerous.
Guildford have got a top 6 that are as good as anybody else.
Absolutely.
I mean, they just signed.
I've not even looked at anybody in their team. Anybody in their team.
They just re-signed John Dunbar, haven't they? And Dunbar has been a fantastic player.
Yeah. But Fox would have been. So my team is, as we kind of bring this to a close, it would be Fox behind the bench.
Yes.
And then Jane, Fournier, Trzynski, her, Ferreira and Valavan.
I like it. I'll tell you, I like it. I like that team.
I like yours as well.
And my team, I got Keith on the bench.
Yeah.
And in goal,
a lot more passionate, Keith.
In goal, I got Kevin Carr. On defence, I got Gleeson, Fournier and Dryden Dow. And then your three forwards, who I think are without a doubt the best forwards this year. Sam Herr, Brendan Connolly and Marco Valorand. I think I would be very confident in that team.
Yeah.
But obviously
that was stiff. That was a stiff ask. Just a bit there.
Oh yeah, there were so many great players this year. We haven't even touched upon there were so many brilliant players this year. You look at what's his name from the Storm? One of the more underrated players. I forgot his name. That's really annoying.
What, for the Storm?
Yeah, he was the top scorer.
Is it Orlean, Jared Orlean?
Yeah, Jared Orlean, yeah. Brilliant player. And we haven't even touched on him.
No.
Tyson Fawcett from the Storm, great player.
Yeah.
You got brilliant players. Look at Guildford, Watters, Reddick, Dunbar.
Yeah. Johnston from the Blaze.
Johnston from the Blaze. He were a bit of a... Well, when he came to us, you weren't too keen on him because he was going around throwing a few hits and getting under people's skin. But
that's good. That's what you want.
He's signed in Bordeaux now. He's going to play in France next season.
Right. Well, it's a step up, isn't it?
It's kind of just below us, I think. But yeah, you've got loads of great players. I mean, Guildford, you've got the D-men, Ackerad is one of my favourite D-men, but I didn't even consider him because, I don't know, I wouldn't say he had a bit of a down year, but it's just Fournier and Dow stuck out, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, our teams aren't the be-all and end-all, so...
Certainly not.
If you're watching this and if you disagree, or even if you agree with us, if you agree with me, please drop a comment because that would do a lot for my ego and my self-esteem.
And if you agree with me, then just and obviously you will agree with me, then I can just lord it over my son. Not Andrew lord it, but just lord it over my son. But yeah, any comments? Just drop us.
We'd love to hear what people think. Obviously, to Nottingham people, we'd love to hear what other fan bases think and see if there's any players you think are overrated and we're giving them, if anything, too much praise. Or are there any players that we haven't even mentioned and you think, what, they deserve a spot?
Give us your top teams.
Yeah, definitely.
We're in lockdown, so we've not got anything much to kind of go on at the moment, so we might as well just discuss hockey rather than watch it. And
because every team right now is just posting full versions of old games, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. But if you like what you're listening to...
That's all they can do, though, really.
If you like what you're listening to, then certainly give us a thumbs up.
I was going to say,
if you don't like what you're listening to, then,
I'm
please
sure
tell us, but we just want constructive criticism and not, people just giving us abuse.
Yeah, if you don't like listening to us, I'm sure John O'Bullard on the Cat's Whiskers is a lot better.
Oh, yeah, 10 times.
But we'll be back and we'll do one about the NHL as well.
NHL.
Yeah, because we've got lists of the exact same, but NHL
talk
teams.
About NHL because every EIHL hockey fan's got the favourite NHL team. So
we'll go into plenty of detail about who our favourite team
NHL
is.
teams, and then we'll probably the following episode we'll talk about the upcoming playoffs and see where the brackets will end up in the end.
Yeah, sounds good. Anyway, we'd like to thank you for listening if you've somehow made it to the end.
Yeah, and not fallen asleep.
But yeah, thank you very much, and we'll be back soon. Thank you for listening to the inaugural EIHL Central Podcast.
Yeah, take care and stay safe.
Alright, thank you. Stay safe.